It's a cliffhanger race right now.
We're watching the final electoral votes come in.
For the first time, the 45th President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump.
No! This is painful, and it will be for a long time.
The day after Trump became their president.
Women's March on Washington, at least 200,000 people.
Making their point in city after city around the world.
It's a march in solidarity with Washington, D.C.
We are not going to accept one vestige of inequality.
No KKK, no fascist USA.
We are America.
We are here to be nasty.
We felt like we lost our power, but we didn't. We woke up. They say things come in waves, the kinds that either ripple or crash to shore. But waves never roll silently. And like Steinem and Friedan and the suffragettes before us, neither do we. Remember when Susan B. Anthony was arrested for voting? Or when the Silent Sentinels marched on the White House? Or how about when the 19th Amendment was finally passed? What about the Equal Rights Amendment and even Title IX? Like our sisters before us, we still stand up. We raise our voices. We march. For sexual violence. For reproductive freedoms. For equal rights. And like a furious wave, our strength fears no barrier. My boyfriend DJ and I are on different sides of the party spectrum, but we're making things work and we're definitely each other's best friend.
There are always going to be people in your way of what you actually want to do, right?
We're a place where people can be different and live next to each other. Donald Trump becomes president and everything changes. That's not the America that we envision.
This is my girlfriend Marisol.
It's like, please see us because we love you and we defend you and your rights. Please, please choose us.
The second I heard Trump say, grab him by the pussy, felt something just drop inside me. And immediately I was transported back to that place where I was pressed against a wall against my will.
DJ and I have been together now for 4 years, and we met when we were both juniors in college.
We have the type of relationship that loves to push and challenge each other. We love to just mentally challenge each other as well. I think we can both agree that kind of changed.
This is an awful shot, like terrible. On the night of the election, I just kept thinking, how could this even be possible? And I felt almost immediately called to action. So, the Women's March is coming up.
Yes.
And I really feel like I have to be there.
In D.C.?
Yeah.
You want to go to the epicenter?
Yeah, I feel like I personally need to be there, and I really would appreciate it if you, as my boyfriend, would come and support me in that.
I want to be there for you, but I'm still a little bit unsure of this. Like, I don't know what to expect going to this Women's March. Are there going to be guys? Are there going to be people my age? That's still something that I'm not sure about.
I grew up Mormon, and I was taught that being gay didn't exist for me. Although I have conservative Christian views, 3 years ago we reconnected and I fell in love and I realized I couldn't live a lie.
So we're at Menards and we already have the material we need for our project.
We've never left on a road trip like this one before. We don't have enough money for a hotel room in DC. With 60 bucks, we turned this little car into a camper that we could stay in. I felt like I was going for my woman. I had told everyone that I wanted to go. I was excited about it, but really deep, I felt like this was a way for me to say, this is not a phase, this is not a fling. I'm in love with her, and I want to be seen the way that all of you are seen with your relationships.
When Trump was elected, it was a huge blow to sexual assault and rape survivors. It happened to me the fall of my senior year of high school. My girlfriend and I started playing some beer pong. All of a sudden there was this guy who was sitting behind us, and he came up to me and he was like, come on, like let's go talk in the other room. And so we went into a different room and he shut the door. And then all of a sudden, he just abruptly started kissing me. My reaction was to kind of freeze. I said no. I managed to say, no, I don't feel good with this. He just continued. He pulled me closer to him, really holding me hard. I mean, I was a virgin at that point. I had never had sex with anyone, and it was just really, really scary. I just remember staring at the futon. All these thoughts went through my head. Am I really gonna lose my virginity to some guy who I didn't even know at a party? I instantly pushed the guy off, ran out of the house, and I just started bawling. To this day, I don't know his name. I had forgotten about it for a long time until Donald Trump came into the picture. How dare he brag about assault? Just made me feel like everything that I experienced didn't matter, and I didn't really matter. I want to make a stand and be among the millions of women saying, no, we are not going to let the fear and the hatred be the next 4 years.
.541 on the way to Washington, D.C. for a little old march that's going on around the world.
So I just went to the bathroom at Planet Fitness, and I'm gonna check on Marisol and Boca. We slept about 6 hours. It was pretty comfortable, so you'll see.
We've never been to DC, really, so I'm really excited. We're so close. Like in 2 hours, we're gonna be like downtown, hopefully.
Let's talk about this Women's March, because it took me a little bit longer to get on board for it. Like feminism, for example, that was something that was a big point in our relationship, because I didn't know men who identified as being feminists. Like, if you're a Republican, you can't think like this. But you said, like, we gotta go. I need to be there.
But I didn't even have a reason why. Like, I just knew that I had to be there. I felt like...
But you were angry.
In the depths of my soul, like, I had to go and unabashedly stand up for women and equal rights. And I have never been so moved politically in my life.
We are in DC and we're heading downtown. I've already seen helicopters and there's police everywhere.
We are on our way to the march. You excited?
Yeah.
You can definitely feel the energy of people around, so I think it's going to be a really awesome day.
We're going to have our voices heard today. Nothing will be the same as it was before I walked here.
Their victories have not been your victories.
I'm not as nasty as homophobic. homophobia, sexual assault, misogyny.
We are the popular vote!
But yeah, I'm a nasty woman.
Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Our body, our choice. The president is not America. Congress is not America. This is what democracy looks like. We are America. You are what democracy looks like.
Stand and continue to keep your voices loud.
We are here to be respected. Let me hear you say, hell yeah.
Hey, what do you think of the march?
Awesome.
Look at this.
Awesome.
I'm just overwhelmed by the sense of community and love from all people, from all different walks of life.
Before the march, I was really politically misguided, I would say. I just kind of grabbed onto what other people would say. Then I went to the march and my eyes were opened, and if I'm fortunate enough to have a daughter one day, I want her to know that there are other strong women that she can look to. I am a feminist, but slapping that label of feminism on it is something that just made me very uncomfortable initially because I didn't have anybody to compare it to.
Something really important just happened in my life. A switch has been flipped. I've realized that I've got to keep taking action going forward, and I've got to make as much of a difference as I possibly can, even in my own small sphere in my own life. And this is just the beginning.
No hate, no fear. Everybody is welcome here, no hate.
The coolest thing is, every single person that we were walking shoulder to shoulder with them. Every single one of these people is going to protect my rights and your rights. Every single one. That's a good one.
I like that one, right?
That's on point.
Being at the march gave us the courage to move forward and start planning our future. Marisol put a ring on it. We can't wait to get married and start a family.
Before the Women's March, I felt silenced and alone and was afraid to remember my sexual assault. After the Women's March, I felt courage to advocate for others.
In fact, I wrote an article for 17 magazine about my experience. Telling my story has
really been an empowering form of healing that has helped me move on in my life.
But for me and countless other women, the march is just the beginning. What's going on with the Me Too movement is just a continuum for what was started at the Women's March. But women have been marching for 100 years and will continue to march and will continue to shout until our voices are heard.
There's no turning back now. There is only one way to go, and that's forward.